Gundam card game has barely been out globally for a few weeks now, and the question on everyone's mind is, has the meta already been solved? While most of us are still just experimenting with cards from Newtype Rising, a potential Tier 0 strategy seems to be emerging from the first wave of unofficial tournaments, and it looks absolutely dominant. Today, we're exposing the deck that's crushing the early competition and revealing a few strategies that might be able to fight back. With the global launch already happening, players are scrambling to figure out the best decks from the new booster set, along with the 4 starter decks. The hype is massive, the card pool is fresh, and with big tournament circuits on the horizon, everyone expected a wide open period of brewing and discovery. But if you look at the chatter and early results from community events, a clear and frankly intimidating picture is starting to form. The format seems to be centralized at a shocking speed. Out of all the possible combinations and color pairings, one specific strategy is putting up results so consistently that it's already been called the gatekeeper of the format. It's forcing every other competitive deck to answer one simple question. Can you beat this deck? If the answer is no, you might as well not even show up. This isn't just a strong deck. It's a format-defining force that appears to be warping the meta around itself in just a few weeks. It's a problem that we all need to figure out. The deck at the center of all this discussion is Blue-White Control, better known by its nicknames, Unicorn Blockers or Freedom Blockers. This isn't just my opinion. Chatter from early tournament reports show that this archetype is consistently topping the charts. So what makes it so impressive? Why does this deck seem to beat almost everything else? It all comes down to a deadly combination of efficiency. Control. The deck's game plan is simple. Don't let your opponent play the game. It uses the best defensive tools in white, mixed with the best control and card draw in blue, to create a lockdown that is incredibly tough to break. Let's look at its core engine. The blockers part of the name is no joke. The deck is packed with efficient early game units like Zwart and Gundam Newtype, which can hit the board immediately, shut down aggressive decks, and these aren't just speed bumps, they're solid bodies that force your opponent to overcommit resources just to sneak in a single point of damage. This buys the deck all the time it needs to assemble its real threats. And that brings up to the blue side of things. Blue gives this deck what might be the single most powerful pilot in the game right now, Amaru Ray. The theory is that Amaru's ability to rest an opposing unit with 5 or less HP when he's paired is absolutely devastating. It neutralizes threats, cleared away for your own attacks, and completely messes with your opponent's combat math. Pairing him with Simple Gundam turns into a removal tool that also sticks around. This tempo control is what suffocates the opponent. They can't attack, they can't build a board, and they just fall further and further behind. While the opponent is struggling, the blue-white deck is calmly drawing its way to victory, thanks to powerful draw cards like Overflowing Affection and a Show of Resolve. The hand is always full of answers. You're never running out of gas, which is a huge issue for many other decks. The final back-breaking piece is the Unicorn package. This is what might make the deck truly top tier. The combo revolves around Unicorn Gundam and Unicorn mode, and its pilot Banner links. The goal is to get to 6 resources, play the level 5 Unicorn, and link it with Banner. From there, you attack, and then for free, play the massive Unicorn Gundam Destroy mode. This not only gives you one of the strongest units in the game, but also provides incredible card advantage, digging you deeper for more answers. The Destroy mode can repeatedly rest an opponent's unit when it attacks, adding another layer of control. It's a value loop that feels almost impossible to beat. Your opponent is getting their board tapped by Amaru, while you're dropping a huge threat and drawing more cards with the Unicorn combo. It is relentless, efficient, and honestly soul-crushing. So is the game hopeless? Should we all just leave up blue-white for the next 6 months? Not quite. While the Unicorn Blocker deck is undisputed king of early discussions, 2 other powerful strategies have emerged that might actually stand a chance. They don't just play their own game, they're specifically designed to attack the weakness of this supposed Tier 0 strategy. First up is Green-White Wing Midrange. If Blue-White wants to control the board with single target answers, Green-White has a simple, brutal solution: wipe the entire board. The star of this deck, without a doubt, is Wing Gundam 0. The ability, when it enters, allows you to do 3 damage to every unit that's level 5 or lower. Now if we look at Blue-White deck's early game, Zwart, Liffrith, and the other setup pieces are all in that range. This means one well-timed Wing Gundam could completely reset the board, undoing all the work the control player spent turns building. That's a massive tempo swing that many decks can't recover from. The deck's game plan is to survive the early game, ramp up resources with cards like Gundam Death Sight and Wing Gundam Bird mode, and then start dropping its bombs. The original Wing Gundam can supposedly attack active units, letting you pick off key threats, while Death Sight provides both ramp and first strike pressure. With Hero U as the pilot, these units become even more devastating, able to swing the moment they hit the board. While Blue-White is trying to meticulously control the game, Wing is just looking to build up to one explosive game-ending turn. It can be a bit of a glass cannon, but its raw power is one of the few things that might punch through the blue-white wall. The second contender attacks from the totally different angle, Red-Blue Newtype Aggro. This deck has one goal: win before the blue-white player can even get the engine going. It's the most successful looking aggressive deck so far, and it relies on pinging damage and overwhelming early pressure. Instead of trying to win a long, grindy game, Blue-Red aims to end things by turn 4 or 5. It does this by flooding the board with cheap, efficient units, then using a suite of ping effects from cards like Guntech and Nakansha to finish off the rest of units without combat. The real engine appears to be Kshatriya and its pilot Marinda Cruz. This combo can potentially destroy multiple low HP units at once, dismantling the board states of decks that try to go wide. Against a control player, the plan is to force damage through early and often. You use your own Amaru Ray to tap down their key blockers, then swing with everything, and then ping away whatever they try to put in their way. The deck is designed to create board states that are incredibly awkward for your opponent. They're consistently forced into making bad trades or just take the damage. It's a race against the clock. Blue-Red has to win before a unicorn combo comes online or before a wing player can drop their board white. It's a high-risk, high-reward strategy, but its explosive speed is one of the only ways to get under the oppressive control of the format's big boss. So is the meta truly solved? For this forced format with Newtype Rising, the answer is probably not. But the influence of blue-white control is undeniable. It has the consistency, the power, and the early tournament buzz to back up its claim as the best deck. Any deck you build for a competitive event must have a plan for it, or you're setting yourself up for failure. Its ability to control the game's pace and generate overwhelming value is, for now, its defining characteristics of this early meta. However, dominant doesn't mean unbeatable. The emergence of green-white Wing's explosive endgame and red-blue Newtype's blistering aggression proves that players are already finding ways to fight back. These decks aren't just good, they are targeted answers to the format's biggest perceived threat. They represent the first steps in the meta's evolution, the counter strategies that will force the top deck to adapt or get dethroned. The arms race has already begun. And while Blue-White currently sits on the throne, its reign is far from secure. But that's just my take on the wild early days of the Gundam card game meta. Do you agree? Is Blue-White control really going to be the king of the format? What decks have you been finding success with at your locals? Let me know in the comments down below. I want to hear what you think is working and what's not. Also, if you enjoy this meta breakdown and want more Gundam card game content, please be sure to hit that button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.